What tune in the game is GMT?
Grand Moff Tarkin.
Oh yeah, okay.
I think the URL should be the same. So happy Black Friday, everyone. We are on I guess a Black Friday stream, if you want to call it that, a last-minute stream. I'm going to be doing Dark Side Territory Battle Phase 2, and I got some lovely guests with me today. They're joining me on this lovely Black Friday. First off, got the one of the RSG regulars with me. I can't even say what Ranger says, but
Oh, he has 1,000 names
it's my
for
boy
me.
Grandepatron. He's the
Whoop, whoop.
bearded Gandalf. Dude, I can't do it, man. I'm not even
Dude,
attempting. But how are you today, man?
I'm doing great, man. Happy Black Friday.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Black Friday.
Happy-
You getting good deals?
Oh man, I got some gift cards. I know we bought a lot of stuff on the internet. My wife was massively searching this morning for deals. She was saying, "Oh, we got to do this, we got to do this." But we're going to be out of town for Christmas, so Christmas is going to be a little bit light around the Patron house. So, but yeah, glad to be here.
Cool. And from the League of Extraordinary Nerf Herders, we got Admiral Teelz. How you doing?
What's happening? Just
Good.
enjoying the first half of the day while the wife works, and then I'm gonna go work my Christmas funding job delivering pizzas later tonight. Enjoying it while it lasts.
So you guys have like Black Friday pizza deals, or?
Oh, it's just gonna be those things. I just cooked. I don't want any more anything left to do with Thanksgiving food, and I'm gonna order pizza. I'm sure. Yeah.
I'm super quiet. Okay. I'll bring up my volume real quick. Is it getting any better? And then last but not least, my favorite voice in the Star Wars galaxy of heroes galaxy is TmoneyGee, man. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm super honored to be on your stream. I've never been on with you before, so yeah, except for my birthday, and that I don't really remember. So doesn't count.
We've always been on streams. It's just
But not your stream, not yours. Yeah.
No, it's a casual stream, but I mean, I know everybody wants. I mean, we have so much fun on the RSG stream. Sometimes we kind of go off on a tangent and not want to talk about the game, but you know, it's the middle of the day. I think it's too early to start drinking, so maybe we can actually do some constructive game talk today. Not that we don't do it on the RSG stream, because that's the pinnacle for me. But I'm here to do some Dark Side Territory Battles Phase 2. What do you guys think of it so far?
It's broken.
I haven't even done it yet. I mean, we 3-starred in our guild. We 3-starred easily. I know a lot of people had a lot of trouble with some of the missions. I actually got in late because I was busy doing a bunch of stuff. And so I was only able to do the special mission yesterday. That was the first time I've only ever been able to do that, because you get locked out. That was a little discouraging, because I feel like I need to practice for sure.
Yeah, that was that was a little surprising, I think. I mean, it caught me off guard a little bit. I was like, whoa, okay. They locked us out of the deployment, but then they locked you out of the regular battles, right? So.
Yeah, that's the new thing.
It's the new thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Same thing happened to me. I did my special mission, and then I was testing out a bunch of dark side teams. I built a Nightsister team. I geared Ventress and Zated Barrett. Oh no, that was for something else. Obviously, I can't bring Varys in. But I had this little Nightsister team all modded up. Took them in. It was like, nope. I was like, oh no. And I can deploy, and I'm 47th in my guild right now, in the guild that I'm leader of.
So you didn't like the Nightsisters?
No, I love the Nightsisters. No, I've geared them, and for Territory Wars, I'm building a Zeta Barris Nightsister team. But I made this team. I spent probably an hour and a half fussing with them, and then I went in to test them out in Territory Wars, and they wouldn't let me do anything. But it's nice. It's nice because now you have all these. What's the point in having half of your guild go in and waste 45 minutes each doing battles for no purpose? It's going to be kind of weird to manage with people not doing missions, but I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, they put a lot of layers on top of it now, right? You have this little I click the number, right, and then you go through these little stats, I guess, these little arrows, and um, is the scoring off? You think? Because I'm seeing a bunch of these like crazy scores.
You're
Absolutely.
not getting anywhere the same amount of points as it says you're supposed to be getting.
Right.
You're getting like 40%.
But then it's flipped for deployment.
Yeah.
Where someone with like 1.8 million galactic power is getting like 3.5 million territory points.
Yeah.
Right.
So I guess the first thing we want to talk about is what everybody else wants to talk about, right? Is we want to see the special mission, right? Kind of go through what your thoughts are on that special mission.
Yeah.
Yeah, bounty hunter.
We can just go head on, man. Teelz, you said you did it, right?
I got halfway through phase 2.
So what are your thoughts on it?
Wampas are tough, man. They're tough.
So I think we probably need to go through on the bounty hunter squad which characters we put in, and then on those characters how we mod them to be successful, right? That's probably that. And I know we kind of got on a little bit before the stream and started talking about it. You want to just go into that mission and let's talk about those characters, and then we can click on them and kind of see how you've got them modded,
Yeah,
Loki,
for sure.
and kind of go from there.
Yep.
So
Sounds good to me.
so the first thing that I see is I think Boba Fett has to be your leader. I think he has there's 4 characters that have leaders on the bounty hunter squad. There's Boba Fett, IG-88, Cad Bane, and Greedo has a leader.
Yep.
But I don't think you're going to use Greedo's leader. That's basically crit damage, 50% crit damage to bounty hunter allies. The Cad Bane leadership ability is basically against his leader ability is evasion and turn meter on evasion.
Yeah,
Just
it's
kind of
like evasion meta, right? So he's got like a
Yeah,
Dooku, old Ben,
esque. Yeah.
old school leader ability.
The next one is going to be IG-88 lead, which seems a little strange too. That's basically dots. It's good for like really, really, really long missions like PvE, right, raid, stuff like that. That's probably not the one. The best lead in the whole deal is really going to be Boba Fett, and that's because the Boba Fett leadership gives you 50% critical damage to all allies, similar to Greedo. Gives you an additional 10% chance, and then bounty hunter allies gain 15 speed for each debuff enemy and gain health equal to 50% of the total potency. So and then 15% turn meter on thermal detonator explodes. So I think this is obviously the best leader.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, Boba Fett was pretty much the only one that really got a rework, right? I mean, Zam kind of got a little bit of a rework or a fix in the past, but I think Boba Fett was the only one they actually went through, gave him a Zeta, redid a lot of his abilities. They gave him his carbine gun, so...
Now, what I think this means, though, is if you'll read his leader, the 50% gain health equal to 50% of the total potency of all bounty hunter allies. What that means is we need to mod up all of these bounty hunters for potency. So every bounty hunter you put on here needs to be running a potency cross, at least.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mentioned at the beginning of our little powwow before the stream, it'd probably be a good idea if you take... Everybody's got a resistance team now, or I'm going to assume everybody has a resistance team, and that team is pretty much modded for potency. So I ended up pulling off all my mods from my resistance team and throwing them on my
that's a good idea.
hunters.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So now what we need to say is, so now who's on the team, right?
Can I ask how is that calculated? So max health equal to 50% of the total potency of all bounty hunter allies. So if each of the bounty hunter allies has a potency of 30%, so 30 times 5 is 150. So that would be an extra 75 max health, 75% max health.
That's the way I see it. Yes.
Yeah, that's significant. That makes Boba very viable, actually.
Yeah, I want to believe it. There's a part of me that wants to say it's only the base potency, I mean, I hope it's not, because
Uh,
they tend to do that,
Oh,
right? Or
it might be base potency.
they pick and choose, right? What they want to do.
So it could be base potency.
You know, it could
But
be
the
just the base potency after you gear them all up, right?
but
Or
the other reason why you want potency on them is for the other part of his leader ability, which is if you look at the other part of his leader ability, it says bounty hunter allies gain 15 speed for each debuffed enemy, and then they also gain 15% turn meter whenever a thermal detonator explodes. These two right here say you want to get a lot of debuffs and you want to bring a lot of thermal detonator people with you. So
yes, I agree with you.
so that's really where we get on it. So then that means who's on the team? Well, IG88 gives a lot of debuffs. Heals himself on crit. He's definitely on there. Zam Wessel is a thermal detonator type character, and she hits like a truck. She makes perfect sense. So that's 3. So now we're down to Greedo, Cad Bane, and Dengar. And you have to decide which 2 of these 3 are going to be on your team. I think Dengar makes the team for turn meter removal. And then I think then I think you're down to whether or not it's Cad Bane or it's Greedo. One does a stun and the other one does more thermal detonators. Greedo, a good way to think about Greedo is he's kind of like Ray, only not as good as Ray. That's kind of how he's got a double tap. He's got a lot of good things he can do, but I think it's kind of a toss up. You probably need to decide which one of yours is better. It looks like Loki, you've kind of gone for the Greedo route and you've left Cad Bane off. Is that kind of what you're thinking, or you?
I am. I tried probably every combination you can think of. I've been suggesting to everybody in our guild and other Discord channels I'm in, if you have that territory war prep team, there's that battle, right, where you fight the CLS team. If your bounty hunters can take that team down, I think they're in good shape to take the Wampas down for this special mission. And the reason I say that is because the CLS Rebel team, it's a chase team with wigs. It's still a hard team to beat, especially with with bounty hunters, right? So I tried every single combination. I tried IG88 lead. I tried Cad Bane lead. I tried everything, and this one for me seemed to work the best against that territory war prep team that you can try and fight and then just retreat the battle and then keep playing that mission over and over again, so you get a free high-end team battle that you can do it over and over again and prep your team. So yes, this is the team I'm gonna go with, and as you mentioned, Grande, it's all about the synergy with the Boba Fett lead. So I got thermal detonators, I got debuffs.
And then let's look at gear levels again. You've got gear 12,
Yeah,
Boba Fett.
I can get out of here real quick. We can.
You can just probably unselect them all, and we can see them on that little screen, and then reselect them all. That way we can
I'm just gonna do this. I think it's easier. I'm going in with I do have a gear 12 Boba Fett. I did gear 12 him for the pilot because he is a pilot. His ship gets benefits, and then the rest of them, IG88 I got at gear 11, and then the other 3 are gear 10.
Okay.
So decent, I think.
Decent, I would agree. Yeah.
So Teelz, what did you go in with off the top of your head? Is it the same team?
Everybody but oh shoot, what? I gotta relook again. Let me pull up my bounties.
No worries.
I went in with everybody but Cad.
So we made the same choice you did.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can go through my mods just real quick in the character selection screen, and then we can just go in.
Sure.
So, big shout out to the guild for filling up that platoon, man, because nobody wanted to give up anything.
No, they did not.
Probably the biggest thing we're giving up, right, are tanks, taunting tanks.
Mm-hmm.
And then second, probably be the Imperial Troopers. Nobody wants to give them up, but hey, we take one for the team and hopefully,
go from there
for the greater good, man. So real quick, so here's my Boba Fett speed set. I got some health on it to give him more health for obvious reasons. I did go with the potency cross, so got an okay potency cross here with some decent speed. Critical damage, so he can hit hard with the missile. Do the Wampas buff a lot? That's the only thing I'm worried about.
Obviously they get a lot of protection up, which is pretty hard to.
And it's non-dispellable too.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. So if it stacks, then hopefully that helps with the missile, with execute.
Yeah.
Obviously, well, yeah, you can't really prevent health gain with that team, so yeah, you're kind of screwed there.
Oops, sorry about that. Let me go back. IG88. So I did critical chance and crit damage.
Yep.
I do have a critical chance triangle, and the reason being is because I don't know about that though. I'm now thinking about it, but maybe I just want him to hit hard. I mean, you can put a lot of critical damage on him, right? But then if he doesn't crit, then it doesn't do anything, right?
Yeah, almost rather just have them all be hitting hard right now and pushing through, because they're just going to keep gaining and gaining and
I can put a
gaining.
critical damage triangle on him. Let's see what it looks like. All right, so we lose a little bit of speed, but yeah, overall offense. So his crit chance drops from 61 to 49.
Still right near that 50 margin.
Yeah, I don't know. I can go for that. It's fine. 216 is always good on crit damage. That's max crit damage. Another potency cross, as Grande suggested, so we can hopefully get as much health as we can. And then IG88 does all the debuffs, right, with his AoE. That thing hits hard. So you want all the AoEs to stick, and then he can heal himself, right?
Yep.
All right, then Zam.
You have any potency crosses to put on him?
Yeah, he's got one.
He's got one?
Yeah, should. Then we go to Zam. So Zam, I put a lot of potency on her because I want the detonators to stick, right? She has a what's her goggle move again? So evasion down, and then the exposes will stick, right? So we want all that. I did put a crit damage triangle on her, and then a potency cross again with her, and then some health. Keep her alive, hopefully. Dengar, speed set with potency cross again. I put a protection triangle on him just to keep him alive.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea at all.
No, it's not a bad idea.
And then last but not least, Greedo. So crit damage, and then I had a matching defense triangle and a cross, but it was a triangle. Is this a crit damage one? Now I can put a crit damage one on him. What do you think? Does he gotta hit hard, or does he just have to survive, right? He just throws bombs everywhere, right?
Yeah, I'd rather just survive him.
Okay. So yeah, that's what it's looking like. I guess we'll go in.
Let's do it.
That's why we're all here. Okay, so what abilities is the Wampa gonna do?
So let's look at that for a minute, because
so do we want to ability block these guys right off the bat?
Let's look at so if we look at what the Wampa does, the Wampa should show up.
Oh, and just FYI, everybody watching, your special is now on the right side here.
Yeah.
So just FYI, it's not on the left side anymore, like the rebel assault, whatever you want to call it.
Well, actually, you don't get a description of the Wampa in the thing.
Yeah, they don't. They only give details of the rebel soldiers for the regular combat.
Is he buffed?
Yeah.
Does he have a locked buff on him, or is
He is gonna have a locked.
He's gonna have a locked protection up.
Well, let's
a locked protection up? Oh god.
Let's do some ability block then. I mean, might as well.
I'd say so. Might as well. Yeah, let's do ability block.
Let's throw bombs on him.
He's fast, hey? He's crazy. He's slow, but he gets 15
once he gets going,
speed for every enemy alive, and then 15 speed for every dead ally. So he can go up to 290.
Yeah.
the Wampa?
Yeah, with the Wampa with no mods on them.
All right, so I'm just gonna burn my Grandepatron basics here.
Let's do a basic.
Basic, do a basic, do a basic.
Nice. You got one of them stunned. That's good.
All right, so
Yeah, stun was the only way I got through because those things just started going off and.
I shared my my Skype screen with you, so if you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine's
That'll be better.
doing a spiral attack right now.
It's kind of split weird, but it works.
Sorry.
All right.
Still better.
I'm just mowing them down here. Let's see. All right, so they're doing their crazy AOE's on me now. Okay, so now I see the protection up on here.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ability block this guy right here. So it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to try to take him out before that protection up goes.
Yeah, it's like 70%, isn't it?
It's a lot.
Yeah, that missile didn't do anything.
So it's not actually a buff on them that comes from the territory battle. It's just their buff, the one they get.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's their Wampin ability.
Oh yeah, it gains protection up, 150% protection up. Yikes.
Yeah, that's not
Just a little bit.
But so far this isn't too bad, so I was obviously worried. More worried. Yeah, the ability block is good. You obviously don't want him to do anything, and then what is this? Is that a healing immunity I just threw on him? So,
Yeah. From 88, I think.
I wonder
so
if that'll stop the buff from coming up in the first place.
Yep. So I got your rewards, Grande. You're welcome.
Woohoo! Thank you.
All right, so that's not too bad. I mean, you know, granted, I do have one Gear 12 Boba Fett, and the other ones are 11 and 10. So my IG-88 could have been Gear 10. Maybe he could have floated by Gear 9. I don't know, but
Yeah, but this is definitely not meant for 4-star characters.
no, it's not. It's
I mean,
not.
that's the
Or level 65 gear 5.
yeah, level 65 Gear 5 would not have cut it, right?
No, not at all.
Are we still thinking that there's
can tell you.
a bug where the devs went the wrong way on the difficulty?
I don't know.
The battles were pretty easy yesterday. Like I was kind of shocked about the special, but then I actually did one more, and it was easy. Like it was no problem.
So I think now we need to talk about going up and doing the one mission that takes the snow
It
trooper.
requires a snow trooper and Empire
Yeah,
only.
up in the top, there's one that requires snow trooper, and
Definitely want to get that out of the way before you lock yourself out of a tune you want.
Yep.
absolute.
I found Zader lead was fantastic, but it's up to your own discretion.
Hey, I can throw my probe droid in there.
Maybe not the best choice.
Well, I mean, we can go pretty. So Tarkin's pretty interesting because he can charge up his AOE, right? It works. Going
Yeah.
through the whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Agreed.
Um,
I gave up my Tarkin for you, Sir Loki. You're welcome.
so you're telling me I should use him then?
I'm thinking that Tarkin. First of all, he's a speed leader for Empire. Would be a good choice.
Yep.
You know, if you not a bad choice at all. And since you're going to have to use some of these characters somewhere else, Tarkin would definitely be a good choice. So would Vader lead, actually.
I used Vader and I went through all 4.
Okay.
You use double tank or no?
I used my Shore.
Okay.
I think that's not a bad team right there.
I'll probably do it.
I want to see your probe droid.
Wanna see probe
I want
droid?
to see the EP probe droid.
I did Vader,
That's a combo.
Tarkin, So yeah, I sub Tarkin for Stormtrooper basically.
Well, I got one of my bosses on this stream, so I can't be dicking around with a probe droid EP combo, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's gonna be upset because he's like, I gave up my Tarkin so you can
I
start
I
the
know.
battle, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
on.
What the hell?
Next, 2 weeks we'll do that. Okay, in 20 days we'll do it again.
In 2
Okay.
weeks when they nerf this thing, then we can play around, right? But
Yeah.
this is heroic AAT right here, man. This is real stuff. Okay, well, let's do this team. I do want to run the double tank though, man. I always get paranoid with this shit.
Well, and you got 2 really good damage dealers, so it should be good.
Yeah, I think so. So this, I'm gonna assume we can just one-shot everybody here. Let's see if we can reset it. Boom, reset his cooldown. I apologize, I didn't go through the mods, but
You're well modded on Tarkin and you're well modded on Vader, and I know you're well modded on Shore Trooper.
I think so. I didn't even check, man.
Oh wait, I remember. I took the mods off to throw it on Hoth Rebel Soldier.
Oh god.
So let's lock down the elites.
Yep.
Let's see if we can refresh the cooldown on that guy, which I think it did. I can't one-shot this guy. So. And that AoE is just horrible right there, man.
Yeah.
Now I know how they feel. Playing all the Christmas music. Is that you again, Teelz?
Yeah, I think it's Christmas music.
That's your kid?
Yeah, I got a Disney Mickey Mouse Christmas album.
All right, so who do we want to fracture? Who is these hunched over guys, or is
the officers and the commander guys are going ham. So anything with officers is a good priority.
So does anybody know if, like, the rebel pilot... So they have a rebel pilot, right? I highlighted that guy. If he does the AoE, does it do more damage than, let's say, another guy, or nobody's figured this out yet?
So if we go into the details and we look at these characters...
Because I would think this rebel pilot hits the hardest, right?
So... Spy is giving people stealth. Your soldier...
the officer elite gives 5% turn meter on when rebel officer attacks, all allies gain 5% turn meter. Pilot is the one that says whenever an ally is defeated, resets all the cooldowns. This is
and
the
gives
pilot.
100% turn meter as well. So you kill the pilot, everybody gets it.
So the pilot elite is pretty tough. And then the soldier elite is when rebel soldier gains taunt, he gains retribution for 2 turns. So soldier's not really that big of a deal. The spy, it says when an ally gains stealth, dispel all negative debuffs on them, all negative status effects. So I would say it's potentially pilot and then spy, and then you kind of go from there, and then probably officer.
And then not to mention your commander and pilot are both doing dispels and healing. Officer gives full health on a heal if he's elite.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just gonna stick to this plan here. I'm just gonna spam Shore Trooper as much as I can, and then give them the turn meter swap from Thrawn so we keep healing Shore Trooper, right? And then I'm just gonna AoE with the Snow Trooper because they're just gonna hit the Shore Trooper because everybody's gonna counterattack, right? But I don't want my Snow Trooper to get wasted. So I'm assuming the best DPS guy. Do I want to do this What is this? Deal bonus damage to target enemy equal to. But I'm figuring this bonus damage is dependent on the character that launches it, right?
Yeah, so that means you're gonna want to have like Vader launch it, or you're gonna have.
Snowtrooper, right? My Snowtrooper.
No,
I think my
Yeah,
Snowtrooper's modded pretty crazy. So
yeah, you could try that for sure.
Well, he just healed right back up, man. You saw that? That's awful. I think Snowtrooper's a must, man. Holy crap, this guy's good.
Dang.
They just go dead quiet.
No, I'm just watching the stream.
Sorry, I'm watching.
Thing.
Oh, okay.
It's I mean, you really have to use these event bonuses on somebody who's about ready to die.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot. These event bonuses are way different than they were before.
Yes.
On the light side, I mean, just the whole way you play this team is completely different than how we saw it before.
Right.
It's completely flip flop, for sure.
I mean, how you play, how you unlock the puzzle is different.
Yeah, that's where I'm excited, man. This is like going back to the roots again, man. You can theory craft, there's actually some thinking involved on this. It's not. It's unpredictable, man. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. Okay, so the last two are dark side. We'll just I'm all about the Nightsisters, Grande. I mean, shoot.
Do it. Let's do it.
They smitten me. So I was telling everybody, just use the Ventress lead, because then you can charge her up in 3 phases, and then her AoE cooldown gets reset. You can just spam her.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go Ventress lead. I'm kind of paranoid to do the Zeta Maul and the Savage now after seeing guys getting locked up, man.
Yeah.
Throw some Talia in there. Do we want to save Daka for... Because the next squad I'm going to use is Mother Talzin, but that's going to be the next one. But do we want to throw Daka in there too, just for the hell of it?
I mean, that would give you a heal and a revive.
Well, but Mother Talzin does a revive with her leader, so...
Right. I'm talking about on the other squad. If you run... You should probably be okay. You're probably going to do like a zombie acolyte team with Mother Talzin lead. Is that what you're thinking on the other one?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking on the other one. This one, I'm going to throw... I need to put some tanks. I might go with that same team I ran in Phase 1. Where's my Sun Fac at? Man, this guy's good.
Sun Fac would be a great choice on this team.
Yep.
Kind of a ghost. That's one thing people forget about is Sun Fac is a very utility type character. A lot of people forgot about Sun Fac for a long time.
No, I think he's great, man. He's fantastic. He's got the Dispel on his basic. I mean, that's your free Dispeller right there.
Jordan Kennedy, look at that roster. Yeah, Sir Loki's been playing for a long time, guys.
I don't know, I might just run it, man. This is it.
You're going to run it with Gamorrean Guard.
Well, he's a taunter, right? I mean...
He is a taunter with Retribution.
I got no I'm looking at my roster
and
I got no more taunter.
And dots.
I can run Kylo Ren. I can run Unmasked, but, I mean, he's only 5-star, like, gear.
What about running... Here you go. What about running regular Kylo Ren for a second stunner?
I think I threw him in platoons.
Oh, you did?
I sacrificed him for you.
You sacrificed him for me. You put one for the team.
All right,
hey.
We'll run with his team.
Let's do it. Let's see what happens, man.
All right, so hopefully
all the best looking characters.
What was that?
It is all the best
looking characters in the game. To get their
the guy with a patch, the big ugly guy, and the old lady. Man, we're doing great on this one.
So this is it, man. Endless Wrath. I got Ventress double Zeta'd. So.
Somebody else said B2 would be good on this team.
B2 would be excellent. I threw him in the platoon for you too, man.
Dang.
Gave up all my guys for you.
Yep.
So this is the beauty of Ventress. You just AoE the crap out of everybody.
Mm-hmm. AoE, and she should be all cool set, reset, and ready to go.
Yeah, I think so.
She'll kill at least one of these guys. Probably 3 of them.
Yeah. So right now she's already charged up 10 guys, right? So she should be hitting pretty hard right here at this point. I don't know. I guess we'll just AoE and see what happens. My only fear is she's gonna get counterattacked, right? So, I'm not confident if she can take everybody down yet, or at least one guy. So I might just play it safe. I'll probably try to stun. Who'd you say, Teelz? Any of the commanders? Or should I stun the? Is Teelz still there?
Commander, officer, because this or the pilot elite's pretty bad.
Yep, pilot elite's pretty bad.
Yeah, I go pilot elite first.
Okay, so hopefully this stuns. I'm gonna see how much damage she can do. So still not there yet, but at least now with my Gamorrean guard I can taunt, and then now when she comes around again, I'm gonna AoE everybody. But I'm gonna save Sunfac's taunt because they're probably gonna dispel my Gamorrean guard, and then just work myself around the corn that way, right?
Around the corn.
That's right, baby. I mean, we can stagger this guy. Okay. So now she's gonna hit her AoE. So see, they dispelled my Gamorrean guard, so now my Sunfac will taunt now when he comes back up.
Yep.
I don't need to heal anybody yet, so I'm just gonna keep going.
Stuns are clutch, man. They really are on this one.
Dude, old Daka's like the queen, man. She's awesome. Can't say it enough.
So yeah, when's the next credit heist? Because I totally need one.
You need another credit heist, huh?
Too.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
I was down to 18,000 today. And that's not the lowest I've been in the last few weeks.
I may have bought crystals and bought a credit pack. Sam.
Yeah, I may have bought two.
And that's usually a low of me. I usually don't buy the crystals. I mean the credits from crystals.
Yes, Bimatsu Ventress is kind of broken with her stack, I think. But don't tell the devs that, they might nerf her.
Yeah, we don't need it. We don't need any dark side nerfs at the moment.
That's why I don't think
right.
this mode's really broken, man, because you have these little aces in your pocket, you know? I mean, who would have thought she was going to be one of the MVPs of this mode, right?
The one challenge with this, though, is, and great job on finishing that, by the way. The one challenge with this, though, is that I mean, was that really set up for, level 4 characters, level 65, gear level 5? No, not even close.
But you know what they're gonna do, right? They're just gonna change. They're just gonna change the wording and say now it's revised, and there you go.
Oh man.
Yeah, I can't imagine being in a guild right now. I PM'd a bunch of folks yesterday, like, how are you guys doing? Are you okay? Because how denigrating it would be to a guild of like 20 or 30 million galactic power to go in there and just be destroyed. Like maybe not even get a star or two in phase 1, right?
I mean, the thing is that you're going to get it, but it's going to be based on deploys, right? I mean, you're going to get 1 star or 2 star on day 1, but it's because of deploys. It's not going to be because you did amazing in your combat missions.
Yeah. Like, I want to see them ramp up the difficulty. I think it's stupid for us to be, like, if a guild is killing phase 1 and phase 2, like, every single week, why do we need to do that every time, right?
All I got to say right now, don't use First Order until they make a change to things, because my Gear 11 and Gear 12 with 2 Zeta First Order team got laughed at in the full way.
Well, the problem is that they don't have a good healer, right?
Yeah. But still, it's like they're literally hitting like they're swinging with cotton balls.
Are you leading with Kylo?
Huh?
Are you leading? Did you say First Order?
I'm leading with Phasma.
Phasma lead, trying to get the turn meter. Makes the most sense.
They've never hit anything hard. I think they need Kylo to be viable.
Well, yeah, I don't have unmasked Kylo at the point needed. I mean, I could throw an underleveled Kylo in the early stages and or undergeared at least, and just put his leader to good use.
Yeah, but
just let him die.
The thing that's interesting about this is that based on their new franchise, they've pretty much Disney's trying to make First Order and Resistance kind of the new thing that everybody gets excited about. First Order in this game right now is not doing very well, even with the new characters. The only way you could maybe see a shining hope is in Kylo and Unmasked Kylo, but it's almost like they belong on another. It's almost like those two characters can be put on other teams, not on First Order teams.
Have you guys seen anybody using Kylo on as a mashup team on your shards?
I have not. No.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything yet.
Oh, the heals are insane, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just paranoid to AOE with her because I don't want her to get counterattacked. So I want to make sure Gamorrean Guard or hopefully my Sunfac will come back with DACA, but all these guys hit like trucks, man. That's the problem.
Oh yeah. And then you get turn meter rolling and bad, just kind of like light side, but more punishing.
Yes, agreed.
So who's the counter? Is it Pilot?
Counter person is the pilot.
Is the pilot, and then he calls assists on his basic, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, if he's suffering negative status effects, call an ally to assist.
The reason, Monkey Grease, the reason why he's not using the AoE special from Asajj Ventress has to do with the counter. He wants a taunt up whenever he does the AoE, so that way the counter goes on the taunt and he gets to save his Asajj Ventress.
So are they going to taunt right now or no? Or I'm sorry, not taunt, but they're not going to counter anymore because I got rid of the or they're still going to do it, huh?
That one will.
Look at that health gain, man.
Now you could do it. Now you can do it because whenever you have stagger or whenever you can only do it when you have days. Because if you have days on someone, that works. But yeah, it's
that
insane.
AoE was terrible.
GP is his boss. I'm not Sir Loki's boss. Sir Loki knows his own team better than anybody else. Sir Loki does well enough and can do this all by himself.
Maybe it's not. Maybe he's not using enough basics.
That's the price.
Are you watching?
Yeah. Oh.
That's what I'd suggest, Sir Loki. Way more basics.
I mean, look, right? So I attack him, then he gets foresight up, right? So
yeah,
thank God
and then
he's got this dispel, man. Oh, and he put it back right up again. Look at that.
He puts it right back. He's done it like 5 or 6 times
There
in a row.
There you go.
Yay, victory! But that was a close one, man.
That was close. That was close.
Ventress is amazing.
But I mean, look at the team I got, right? I mean, I don't want to call it an A team. There's no way that's an A team. But
no.
I'm just gaming Ventress's lead, and that's something obviously everybody can do here, and maybe build a better team around it, right? I mean, who puts Gamorrean Guard in there, right? But you know what? It worked.
It worked.
So
You just gotta protect those ladies.
you got to. I could have put Sith Trooper. I could have put. I mean, who else? Sith Assassin.
Yeah, you could have put.
Her lead is.
Sith Assassin?
Her lead is like.
He could have
really
put
good.
Sith Assassin to speed up Sith Trooper. It would have worked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe.
Sith Assassin with Sith Trooper, but
Yeah,
she's not
Sith-
going to speed up the sisters.
No, she won't, but she'll speed up the Trooper, which would help you with the taunt and the retribution. But it would still get dispelled. I mean, it would have been really tricky.
Right.
Would have been really tricky.
I know, man. I think I'll take my chance with Savage here.
You gonna do that? Or, yeah, you could do that. Or are you gonna go for the Nightsister team? Personally, I think I would go for the Nightsister team that you were talking about earlier, running.
Put Acolyte and Zombie in.
You could do that. Put Mother Talzin, Acolyte, Zombie, and then what do you want to do? Maybe run.
How about that?
You need to run someone that's going to do Dispel, which you got now, and then you also need. What are you going to do for a true healer?
I'm SOL with my healers, man. I got nobody.
Okay, so let's try to think this through a little bit. Who does a lot?
So Mother Talzin heals herself, right? I don't have to worry about that.
And
And
then
then if any of the Nightsisters die, then she brings them back with the basics anyway.
right,
And
What about
Acolyte's
Savage?
not gonna die, hopefully.
Savage will dispel, but
Yeah.
is Savage going to act like a good healer?
What
You
Savage
got it.
does for me is you bring the health down, right? So Plague goes through protection, and once you get that health down to yellow, you can just pick them off with Savage.
So maybe
He'll
let's
do the
try
beat.
Savage on that team.
Yeah, we can do
Mhm.
it. I'm just scared to get locked up, but it should be okay.
I know it is. I know. So am I. But
We saw it, man. A bunch of our guildies, it happened.
I know
so.
it's the right team though.
What
Yeah,
do you
I
mean?
think so.
Get locked out? Like timed
No.
out?
No, lose the ability buttons.
So no, they didn't lose the ability buttons. You know those two, that one unit that I was fighting with Ventress.
Mhm.
So because he gets getting Foresight back up, right, and then he heals himself, him and Savage just go back and forth. It's like a Maul versus Maul.
It's a loop. It's a
yeah.
loop.
Yeah.
They got looped.
But, yeah. Let's go with this team. Let's try it. So just FYI.
Well, the other idea would have been Sith Assassin, maybe, but yeah, you're not getting the extra benefits.
Right. So just FYI, I do use Nightsisters in Arena, so my
This will be a
Nightsisters are
game.
modded pretty well. And I urge anybody, struggling with this thing, if you're on a organized shard chat of some sort with your arena, top 10 or whatever you want to call them, tell all your guys go dark side teams for like a couple days, while we do territory battles.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic idea.
I mean, why not, right? I mean, you guys are all organized anyway, so there should be no reason why, your General Kenobi has 250 speed at this point, because you can't use them in this game mode, so.
So Loki, I'm surprised to hear that you move mods because your mods are kind of legendary. What you're gonna lock them in? You have to lock them in for territory wars, though. Are you gonna lock them in and then still move them around after, or are you looking at just kind of remodding your whole collection?
I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I'm gonna shoot for like 4 and 4, so I'm gonna have 4 good defensive teams, and then 4 good offensive teams, and then mod accordingly to that. So that's gonna be my plan. Probably my offensive teams, I'll put the best mods on it, and then because usually like defensive teams, they don't really need good mods because they're just gonna sit there and get hit.
Agreed.
Is my thinking on it.
Yeah, you put your second best mods on your defensive teams.
Yes.
Put your best mods on your offensive teams.
But you can use your best tunes on defense.
Agreed.
So use your best tunes, but use like your B or C mods on it. And then your good mods you can make up for the C and D tunes that you're going to run on offense.
Our strategy that seemed to work a lot was just having those crap filler teams that people have to waste their stuff on early.
Yeah, that's a
It's
good
really-
idea too.
Because you're locked to one team per, on offense, and if you start getting in a bunch of crap and they're not bringing the crap, yeah. Also, no, this CLS team's gonna have to do some actual battling on a Jawa squad because you didn't plan right, or you got to sit and wait and hope someone else blasts through.
Right.
You kind of did okay on these elites on this one.
I kind of don't have a choice because they're taunting all in like a cadence. So I'm just taking down what I can take down.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste his special on this guy. Well, there goes my Mother Talzin, but hopefully my zombie brings her back up. She's the best, Grande. Look at that.
I know it, dude. That's
She's so good.
I really like Acolyte. I brought Acolyte and Ventress to 11 and 10, respectively, last night.
I'm one piece from Gear 12 Acolyte.
Yeah, me too. I'm the, which one is, I'm missing the comlink. I think there's a comlink in there.
Yeah, I think that was the same. I'll have to pull it up real quick. As I'm sitting here doing a ship battle with the timer ticking down, oops,
So we're
got
done.
distracted.
Is that 4? I think
Yeah,
we're
that's
done,
4-4, man. Now you just got to deploy whichever one's lower, and you're good.
I think Talzin's a superstar of Dark Side.
She
I'm
really
sad that
is.
I'm gonna struggle after P. What is it? I have her at 5, so struggle after P4, not being able to use her.
Yeah, she really is. I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, I feel the pain of the community, but a lot of people were just, they're like, hey, my Empire team isn't good in Dark Side Territory Battle. But I said, well, it's not Empire Territory Battle, it's Dark Side. So you have another 20 or 30 Dark Side characters.
Use all the characters.
Yeah.
You only use the required ones where you have to use them, and then let's use everything else. And if you look at it,
Nightsisters are going to be the resistance, hands down.
Hands down.
Hands down. Yep, I think so.
And because they have 2 great leaders, it means you have 2 options to use. So
Also, don't use ghost instead or spirit instead of zombie on accident. That's a big tip.
that's a big tip.
I did that yesterday. I went to grab zombie and I forgot and just misclicked. Went in with my spirit, gear crap. And yeah, it was bad news.
Bad news. No. Well, good job there, Loki.
I still keep my job, right? Dude was gonna roast me on this. You better win, man. Remember when you weren't on the stream, man, when I dropped I dropped the Walker battle on RSG Saturday night.
I would.
Oh yeah.
Battle, man. Oh my god.
After Ranger killed it.
Ranger killed it. No, but the the strat on that is you got to bring a Dispeller in, man. That's all it is. I didn't bring a Dispeller. I brought my Princess Leia. She hit like a truck, but then they put protection up on the Walker, and the Walker just AoE'd me. So, but yeah, that was pretty embarrassing right there. But it happens.
So are you guys doing any hold-on deployment, or do you already have your calculations in place? You know where everybody's deploying. You're getting 6 stars here.
So it's really easy for us. It's like basically keep an eye on it and make them even. That's pretty much what we tell our guys to do. Basically deploy where we're lowest. Day 1, 2, and 3 are pretty easy for us. We don't make a big fuss about it, I guess, on day 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how the rest of the
guild does.
No, just moving forward, like how the point distribution is. It seems to be a little bit different, but because there's going to be extra nodes, right? Like there's 2 ship battles now, I think.
Yep.
On one of the nodes.
Yeah, so it will be interesting to see how that. Yeah. I think there's a special mission in one of the ship nodes that you have to use Chimera on the ship, special for ships. So. Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's a little discouraging because we're all having to kind of, work through it a little bit. It's different. A lot of people don't know how to play Dark Side. A lot of people have not. I mean, a lot of guilds, maybe have 1 or 2 really OP Dark Side teams, but they've never really worked through the abilities to see how they work, and so they have a little bit harder time with it.
Yeah.
And it's just going to take some time. Does it feel slightly out of balance? Yeah, especially for lower end guilds. This should not, Loki probably should not have lost any characters, for example, on either one of these. And so it probably does need to be slightly tweaked downward on day 1 and day 2 from what I've seen so far.
Right.
But I don't feel like it's, I don't feel like it's crazy. Just we need a mild rework, not a major, just dumb everything down a ton. That makes sense.
Yeah, or ramp it up quickly, like make phase 1 and 2 easier, but I'm fine with the difficulty, but I just want to see these lower level guilds get, developing guilds get something. Not it's gotta be hard on morale and everything to struggle so much.
So I'm gonna jump into this territory war prep battle. So watch this other team go, right? They take like 6 turns before my bounty hunters go. Now I get a turn.
Another thing about Dark Side, I was just looking at you rolling down your team comps, and a lot of them are pay to play, right? There's a lot of the best dark side tunes are pay to play, and I don't like you can get a lot of the rebels for free.
Right.
I'd like to maybe look into that, do like a little breakdown of it. Wow, yeah, you're getting killed here.
Well, this is what I tell everybody: is try this mode out.
Use this to your advantage.
Use this to your advantage, everybody. I got totally upset about GW because I can't practice in GW, and yes, I still practice. I mean, you know, it is what it is. But there was always your Node 6, your Node 9, whatever you want to call it, the hard node, right, in GW.
You could play around with teams.
I would sit on that node. I'm not even. I would sit on that node for as many as like 3 days. I wouldn't even do I wouldn't complete my GW because I wanted to fight that one team. And if it's a CLS meta team with like Zeta Barris or Bayonet Han or whatever, you know, crazy team it is, I stay on that. And it's a free OP squad you can fight every day with every squad you got.
Right. And I think this goes to a different mindset that different players have. Some, you know, and I think that the developers probably need to look at that a little bit. You have players who like to do a lot of theory crafting and a lot of practicing. And then you have some players who literally just want to get their stuff done and then move on.
Yes.
And I feel, and how do you create a game that has this sandbox mode for those of us who like to play and like to be able to see, okay, what do these characters do? You know, so to me, doing everything on auto is kind of boring.
Yes,
I mean,
it's horribly boring. It's horrible. I'm so disappointed in Galactic War, but I think they should just take the whole thing out. Just take it out. Take the rewards from that. Pull them over to our dailies, and then give us. Were you talking? You're talking in the Nerf Herders chat today, Loki, about what did you say it was? Like a little section. I think we should have a little section where there's just a whole list of teams that we can fight and maybe refresh, just like in Territory Wars, where there's 25 teams and you can like look through and fight different ones. That you can go in and practice for nothing, no rewards, just for fun.
So here was one of my thoughts on that was you make like a God mode Galactic War. So it's 12.
It's almost like
all Gear 12 hard teams.
Either that, or let's just put a switch on Galactic War that lets you turn it from hard to easy and easy to hard, so the player can decide, hey, I need to get through this one. I need to power through it. We're gonna stick it on easy mode. Hey, I want to play around with these teams. Let's flip it back over to hard mode, and then I can play it hard, just like how we have for light side, dark side tables. Have it where you can have the sandbox mode if you want it, and then have it where you can just power through it if you want it.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna be upset when they take this Territory War prep away. I mean, this thing is great.
Effectively, that means the only place now you have left to fight against some teams like that is Arena.
And then now I have to remod, and I got to burn crystals, and I have 5 refreshes, and.
But it's about the diversity too. Like in Territory Wars, I was so struck by how diverse all of these different teams were, right?
And yeah, you make a good point. Maybe Territory Wars will be like that, but it's not sandboxed. I mean, you have to bring in a team and win because your guild's counting on you, and you can't like retreat out of it and try again. So it's not Territory Wars is not sandboxed like how Galactic War was. That's the part I think that becomes a big problem. So Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you, T-Money. Go ahead.
No, that's it. I love the diversity in teams and fighting different teams. Oh, and the arena within the beta, that was so fun because my arena we're pretty young. I've been playing for like a year and a couple of months, and so we're relatively young. We have very similar teams. It's getting a lot more diverse now, but it's now I'm sorry to complain about Barris, but she's just on every team now, and I don't like fighting her. And in the beta arena, there was like hundreds and hundreds of super keen people because they're in the beta. They want to play the game. They want to check this out with all these diverse teams. And it was just that's the part that I enjoyed the most and learned the most from too.
Yeah, we need something like that. That'd be fun. But that would really be a Territory War prep though, It's
like this team. It's like what he's doing right now, where he's escaping out and not finishing it on purpose.
All I do, man. I encouraged everybody in our guild to do it. I go, if you can bring in dark side teams and you can beat this team, then you're good for territory wars or territory battles. You're good for dark side. Because this
Yep.
team's hard, man, and they're super fast.
Yes.
They start on 100% turn meter. So
Yeah.
And that's yeah. I'm so excited about territory wars. So how are you guys feeling? People are really excited about dark side territory battles. I'm trying to stay open. I don't feel very open. I'm kind of done with the light side, and I just don't know how you guys in these big guilds getting, we're getting 41 stars and it's easy. We're not struggling at all, but guilds that
On
are
light
getting
side.
on light side, yeah. Guilds that are getting 43, 44, 45 stars every time. I mean, isn't it? It's going to be boring. Like, how is it not going to be boring?
So when you get up to this point, kind of where Loki and I are at, it's a lot about trying to score a perfect score. So do 6 days worth of events and get 114 of 114. Like, how do you not drop one single wave? And I could see, now that they've kind of modified it a little bit, I could see us potentially, looking at holding deploys, not because we want to hold deploys or because we need to hold deploys, but holding deploys so everybody gets in more practice because everybody likes playing. I mean, we could 3-star light side on day 1, day 2, and day 3 without even deploying.
Without deploying, yeah.
Or at least day 1 and day 2 probably without even deploying. So it may be that we just kind of hold that till the end and then we deploy right at the very end, just to make sure that everybody kind of gets in the habit of, hey, we need to play. Hey, we need to make sure everybody gets all the experience they can so that they understand the mechanics of how everything works. Because the less playtime you get, the less you understand the mechanics, the less you understand how you can actually manipulate the RNG into your favor. That's what Loki did a lot of today, right? He did a lot of manipulating the mechanics of the game to his favor.
Yeah, I didn't go heads up. I mean, I didn't put my I didn't put arena mods on everybody, and I didn't go DPS, right? I didn't go straight up with it. But it's
Yeah. So,
I think that's what you got to do. I mean, even on light side territory battle, you got to have some kind of disruption. You got to have days. You got to have all that stuff. Use it to your advantage. It's not just DPS.
all right, guys, I got to run. It's been fun.
Man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man.
Did T-Money, did you have any other questions? Because I know you want to talk serious when on these streams.
What was that? Sorry, you cut out?
She's not drunk, so she could talk serious right now.
Yeah, I was saying because you wanted to talk like game stuff, like real stuff.
No, that's what we've been doing. No, it's great. That's awesome. I'm curious. I'm really curious about, the community right now. Definitely excited about the wars coming up. I've got I love scheming and planning, and I've been doing it for the last 24 hours. I got 3 hours sleep last night because I've been thinking about all the strategy for that. But I'm thinking about the community right now. We had one veteran player quit a couple weeks ago. Another one just gave us notice, and it's just I don't know.
Are they quitting the game or are they moving on?
They're quitting the game. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. One went to play for a little, I don't know, 40 million GP 60. I don't know what the GP was, but it's a little guild not on Discord and that sort of thing, just to help them out. But I've had a bunch of veterans quit the game completely. So I don't know. We'll get through it, but it's just weird and stressful. It takes too much time. They need to really think about officers right now. Recruitment takes a lot of time and effort and
Thankfully, we have the start of new tools. They just need to fix the simple things that we've wanted forever that they're ignoring.
Tickets and make it really clear. When can someone come back into territory battles? Right? Can you kick someone 20 minutes before and have somebody else come in and join? Can they join after you're locked in? Probably not. Just kind of trying to figure all that out. No, that's the boring stuff. That's the stuff I like.
Yeah, but people can exploit that. I think that's the issue. I understand why they did the whole locking thing, and I commend them for doing it, because I don't think there's a better way to do it. You know, locking the mods, then locking the teams on defense, and then you do your offense one day, right? So I think that's the right way to do it. I think they learned from tournaments.
Yeah. And there's not really a big time commitment to it. That's what I like about it. It's just like a lot of fun in a short period of time, except it took me forever to set up my defensive squads. It took me like 4 hours, just like pined over it.
Cool. Well, anyway, guys, we'll wrap up the stream here, and thanks again for taking time out of your Black Friday for coming on board this little impromptu stream. I think we answered a lot of questions, and hopefully after seeing kind of the teams I did and our conversations with Grande and T-Money and Teelz, everybody else
There's not really a big
feels a little more comfortable with how they approach the territory battles, because it's definitely not the same approach as light side. So, you guys want to pimp?
Don't do
anything,
first
or-
order yet.
Yeah, you know what? I actually did a first order, like a hybrid though, but I threw Nihilus and Thrawn in there. Like I did.
Sure.
What was it, like a Phasma with Zeta Kylo, first order Stormtrooper, and then I did Thrawn and Nihilus, and it worked pretty good. So, but again, that was phase 1. So we'll have phase 3 tomorrow, and I'm sure it's gonna be harder.
Or easier. Who knows how they broke it? Who knows?
I mean, to be honest, this day didn't seem any harder than yesterday. So maybe what they ended up doing was,
if you noticed, Wave 3 had way more elites than yesterday did.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. That's a good point.
It's true. Yeah.
So maybe phase 1 we'll start seeing elites right away, right? Tomorrow. Well, I don't know. You guys want to pimp anything? Or are we cool? We good?
Yeah. They can come and see us next Thursday. Come and join the channel. Who knows what it's going to be like? We've had a really crazy non-game show last time, so we're definitely going to talk all game, or other than our usual ridiculousness, right, Teelz? I have to redeem myself. It was ridiculous. There's like hundreds of people have listened to that now. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, that's a great stream, guys. It's really fun. And actually, we're gonna be through our first territory war, or maybe our second territory war already. So there's definitely
we'll be right in the middle.
Yeah,
we'll be right.
Gonna be a lot of ranting going on.
It'll be the last. It'll be like the evening of the offense phase.
Wouldn't it be so funny if you like fought our guild, and then we can just talk trash on your stream on Thursday night?
Oh, you have no idea. I'm so competitive. If I win, I like shirk winning, but if I lose, I'm just like a pissy mess. I'll probably cry. I will absolutely probably cry. Yeah.
So yeah, everybody listening, check out League of Extraordinary Nerf Herders with Teelz and Darth Bob and good old Maurice and T-Money. Thursday nights, what is it, 7 p.m. Pacific? Is that what it is?
10:30 p.m. 10:30 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday nights.
Okay. See, Teelz and I are on the West Coast, so.
Oh
the
yeah,
best coast.
The best coast.
It's freaking hot today, man. I'm over by Disneyland. It's like 90
This is
degrees
wonderful.
today. It's horrible.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, yeah,
No, you're in the Bay, man, so you're good.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm east of Sacramento.
Oh, you're inland then. Okay. Are you 90 today? Fuck, we're 90 today. It's horrible.
We're not at 90, but we're like in the 70s.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And then thank you to Mr. Grandepatron, Grande, myself, Finn, Ranger. We are the RSG crew. Our regular streams are Wednesdays and Saturdays. Wednesdays, it would be 8 p.m. Eastern. That's our regular SWGOH stream. That's where we cover all the updates, anything that has to do with the game. That's our main stream. Saturdays, we have fun with the Jedi Academy. That is 10 a.m. Eastern time, and that's where we have a panel on, and we answer everybody's questions that's in the chat. All the viewers, you guys drive the content, and we will, we answer all your questions. So that's to give back to the community. And then we also have a Saturday night drunken fun stream where Ranger gets drunk and pisses himself, and T-Money
I,
donates money
I
for it.
usually
So
I usually yell at him at one point during the night.
yes, and you can catch everybody from the League of Extraordinary Nerf Herders on that stream as well with us, because that's just a fun one. But that is 10 p.m. Eastern. So on behalf of myself and everybody else on this stream, T-Money, Teelz, and Grande for joining me. Thank you again, and I'll probably stream tomorrow real quick, so if you guys are available, I'll throw it up. But Phase 3 should be a little more fun, so I'm looking forward to that, especially for me. So
Yeah.
take care, guys. Thank you again for listening.
Thanks.
Have a
Thanks for
great
having us.
afternoon. Great weekend.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Is it? I don't know. Good idea.